What more would you want the government to do to support new investors, private sector folks like Ladol in the oil and gas business, ramping up our local content?
Well, look, the government has played a pivotal role in getting Ladol to where we are today and continues to play so. You know, whether it's our landlords, MPA, who, you know, have shown us tremendous support, or the other various different government agencies from Customs who have been, you know, fantastic. And NEPSA really deserves, you know, a special mention. So the Nigerian Export Processing Zones Authority has done a tremendous amount in being the linchpin that actually liaises between the different agencies and then really promotes free zones, which are becoming industrial zones. And that's the way that we'll actually increase our exports as Nigeria, and then we'll be able to grow our economy that way. So it's just continued support. You know, this new administration has really laid down a great framework and guidance directly from the top, and we would just want, you know, more of the same, to be honest.
In terms of challenges, and I'm going to let you go, and we'll talk a little bit to the side of the challenges. I'm sure business is a lot of sweat.
It is absolutely.
If you have $1.something billion there, some folks are sweating. So sweating it out. What are some of the key challenges you're looking at?
The key challenge is the Nigerian factor. Okay, it's actually saying that we can do world-class projects, we can actually give world-class results in Nigeria and making, you know, made in Nigeria a global brand that we can absolutely be proud of. So, you know, that's an everyday reality that many businesses, you know, have to live in that environment, and we're no different. But I always like to look at things positively and look at the glass being half full and actually showing that, you know, it can be done, which is exactly what we're doing with this Egina project for Total, and we'll continue to raise the bar higher and higher.
Well, I'm looking at some of the news that's
Yes.
been a bit recently between NEPSA and what have you, whether Ladol should move out of Lagos and what have you. All those issues, have they been cleared? What's the state right now?
Absolutely. You know, we have, like I said before, we have a fantastic relationship with all the different government agencies, and we have been privileged to receive many visits from a lot. For example, the head of customs was at Ladol several months ago and was very complimentary about what he saw and how we're actually generating revenue for, you know, over 16 billion naira has been, you know, generated for customs, you know, so through our facility over the last few years. So this is a pattern that's set to continue. And for us as private sector long-term investors, you know, it's bumps in what is a very, very long road, but it, you know, we are undeterred, and we are, you know, our determination continues to continue growing our business, which is what we're doing.
If we go back to reinforcing the beliefs that yes, this can be done in Nigeria, Egina FPSO is big, but how much bigger can we get?
Well, to be honest, the sky is the limit. You know,
because if we look at the LNG, for example,
yes,
yes, a bit of local capacity there, but you still have the South Koreans holding the big end of the carrot.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yes. You know, so look, we have to start somewhere, and we've made a start. Certainly in the fabrication industry, so the maritime vessel repair and maintenance space, which is where Ladol is a very significant player, and it's just to continue, you know, moving forward. I really see, you know, I'm a Pan-Africanist, you know, by heart, and I see that collaboration with our West African neighbours is an imperative for all of us to actually grow and achieve our economic potential. So that's something that Ladol is engaged in, certainly, you know, reaching out to neighboring countries such as Ghana, for example, to see how we can share some of the challenges that we've had.
I can smell what you're working on. You want to put Ladol in Ghana?
Well, we would like to cooperate. We would like to cooperate with the Ghanaians and help them to actually.
I can smell your. I can sniff your West African footprint. When you say collaboration, I know what you're looking at.
Oh, it's
because
mutually
if
beneficial.
you look at the West African corridor, look at Ghana, where you have major markets like Ivory Coast,
Yes.
and all the way down to Senegal and Guinea. I'm sure the shipping business, this facility, infrastructure is badly, really needed.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, you've hit the nail right on the head. And the point is such expensive infrastructure investment then warrants actually being utilized by all our neighboring countries. So we don't have to be towing rigs all the way to you know, Asia or to or even North Sea or further afield. We can actually do these things in Nigeria, and that's what we need to do as a country going forward.
I like your West African ambition.
Thank you very much.
Sign me on. Thank you.
Okay.
I love that. Jide Jadesimi, thank you very much. We appreciate your being here today for the program. He's an executive director at Ladol. That's one of the big local content investors and operators in Nigeria's oil and gas. Okay, let's go back to that very important news today. Nigeria's manufacturing data for the month of April showing a positive reading, 58.8, much higher than the month of March, showing large companies employing about 500 people, employing more. The index actually showed 55 for employment. All the 5 sub-indices were in positive territory and showing that the central bank rapid-fire FX intervention has helped to make the industrial sector coming back a little bit. A bit of a clawback on the employment data. That's the highest we've had since November 2015. And you can see some of the figures there on your TV screen. The FX market has been thanked for this PMI increase. And of course, the PMI surge led by large companies since the late February when the central bank issued a new circular stepping up its sales of FX retail for invisibles and to importers, according to the report. One of the consequences has been the naira appreciation on the parallel market. And all this pointing to a likelihood that Nigeria is maybe be getting out of recession in first quarter. And if you add that to the raft of industrial earnings that we've seen since the month of March, the month of April, that looks very most likely. Now, if you look at the market, and that's where we'll be stepping into in the next 1 or 2 minutes, we're seeing a bit of sentiment that will go around the stock market with those earnings that we saw. Many of them positive, a few a little bit nasty, like Seplat reporting $18.5 million in loss before tax in the first quarter. But across board in the banking industry, it was more positive. Okay, so you saw Seplat Petroleum listed in Lagos and London stock exchanges because its gas production and gas sales were down in the period under review, first quarter, and production for oil declined 71%. You expect investors' reactions to that. A couple of analyst conference for some of the banks will take place tomorrow, Wednesday, the 3rd of April. So we'll go to talk to Johnson Chukwu, the CEO at Carry Asset Management, after the break.